all our lives, we are told that if we follow a particular blueprint, if we follow the conventional framework that the world offers, we will be safe, secure, and comfortable. But what we find is that in this quest for personal safety, security, and comfortability, we experience more pain, more suffering, and more turbulent mental activity. In that regard, Rumi says, run from what's comfortable. Forget safety. Live where you fear to live. Destroy your reputation. Be notorious. I have tried prudent planning long enough. From now on, I'll be mad. What is he trying to say? Is he saying that we should just give up everything and move to the Himalayas and live in caves and wander in the dark? No, that's not what he's saying. He's not talking about physical safety, physical comfort. He's talking about psychological safety, psychological comfort. When you try to seek psychological safety, that very seeking leads to the feeling of being unsafe. When you try to find comfort in the ideas, in the thoughts, when you believe that what society or the world has provided you is foolproof, if you follow it diligently, you eventually end up in disappointment, because there comes a time when you see how all the promises of the society, of the world, falls short. They told you, get a good job, earn money, build wealth, have family, which is all fine. It is all perfectly okay to do all that. And lastly, they said that if you do all of this, you will live happily. Now that is where the trouble is. Because true happiness has got nothing to do with any of these things. True happiness cannot be gained through any external means. Because true happiness is inwardly. True safety is inwardly. True comfort is inwardly. Seeking comfort in the objects on the outside will always be disappointing. And that is why in our midlife, we experience this thing that we call crisis. What is the crisis? The crisis is that the promise that was made to us of well-being, of sufficiency, of wholeness, was a lie. Yes, it was a lie. Our parents lied. Our teachers lied. Our well-wishers lied. Not out of malicious intent. It's just that They unconsciously believed what did not work for them and just passed it on. If you see most people who defend a certain idea, you will notice how unhappy they become trying to defend it. So, if their whole identification is built on what they have acquired, what they have attained in the world, name, fame, position, money, prestige, what you eventually notice is that that creates such a fragile shell that even a slight crack in it causes a lot of pain. What essentially they have been doing is they have been seeking safety and comfort. And Rumi says, give it up. He says, destroy your reputation. Because when you do that, when that reputation, which is an image, is gone, there is nothing to defend. And when there is nothing to defend, then life naturally becomes peaceful. And he also says, be notorious, which means do not live for the expectation of others. Do not live to prove yourself to this to this world. Do not believe that your worth is in doing something. But understand what masters have always said. When all of this image is gone, when what you remain in your pure, raw essence, that is of the highest worth. That is of the highest value. That cannot be destroyed. And Rumi says here, I have tried prudent planning long enough. From now on, I'll be mad. Let others declare me insane. Let others call you crazy. Let them use whatever name they want to use. The thing is, you have died to their expectations, and hence you are free. But when you live to serve the expectations of the world, your family, your parents, your relatives, the society, your community, you will always find yourself bound, unhappy. You will always experience that haunting emptiness because you know that you're going against your own nature. And how do you know that you're going against your own nature? It's because your true nature is pure knowing. Your true nature is pure witnessing. So when all the superficiality is removed, what remains underneath is of potent value. Examine that. Observe that. Be with that. And you will know what a bliss it is. Because there is no comparison over there. There is no competition over there. There is no advice needed over there. You, in your wholeness, in your fullness, in your completeness, are there in complete joy. Then the organism, whatever it does, it does. It's not of much relevance. It doesn't make much difference. if people call you wise or if people call you mad. I was listening to words of Sri Siddharameshwar Maharaj, and he says the same thing in his book, The Key to Self Realization. He says that for a jnani, the one, the knower of the truth, does not care about the conventions, does not care about the protocols. He lives, he or she lives in the moment, fully alive, with full completeness. And the way one knows that it is a jnani is when the world thinks that he or she has gone mad. Because in the world of sane, that insanity brings wisdom. It brings us closer to our essence, the recognition of which eliminates the separation between what is and what should or should not be. And that is freedom. Now, it's never a comfortable life. And jnanis do not look for comfort. Jnanis look for the truth. No matter how uncomfortable, how painful, no matter what the consequences, the pull of truth, of beingness is so strong that a jnani cannot say no. Or rather, a seeker cannot say no. They keep moving in the direction until they realize that they already are the wholeness that they seek. So they forego comforts, they forego wealth, they even forego relationships sometimes. They associate with the wise. They associate with people who have tasted the bliss. The word is sangat. Sang means together. Sangat. Together with the wise ones. They rise to their spiritual essence. And sometimes that means they are declared failures by the world, by the society. When I left my job in 2015, many told me that that's a foolish step because I was earning good money in the corporate world with a very cushioned job, air-conditioned cabin, and many people working under. It was comfortable. But I was miserable. So that safety was an illusion. And this is what the master here says: run from what's comfortable. He's straight away saying run. He's not even saying examine. He's saying run from what's comfortable. Because what's comfortable is going to corrode. It's going to bring you more and more discomfort. That comfort is a cover-up. It's covering a chaos underneath. It's like a volcano which is waiting to explode. And I have come across so many people who are living like that. A volcano waiting to erupt. But they are afraid to take the step. Because they are fearful. They've gotten used to comfortable life. They've gotten used to safety. And they come up with many things. I've got family, I've got this, I've got liabilities, I've got that. And it's all fine. But they know that they are not being entirely honest with themselves. And as I said, the seeker, a true seeker, will embrace discomfort no matter what it brings. A true seeker will not run from discomfort. That is where there is possibility. The one who's comfortable right now is living two lives. A life that he or she imagines he or she wants to live, and the life that he or she is actually living. There is this gap. There is this separation. And that separation creates dissonance. So the master says, be notorious. Let your reputation be destroyed. Speak the truth. Speak your truth. Be observant. Now again, Master does not imply here that don't plan. He's not telling you not to plan. But he's telling you that you can plan all you want in life. But only that will happen which is meant to happen. So sometimes the jnanis operate from spontaneity. Not sometimes. I think jnani operates mostly from spontaneity. And that is why the wise ones are declared mad. And that's when you know that something is happening. That's when you know that you have shown the way, because you have created discomfort.